Suzanne's question. Do you both 100% believe that this MOASS is coming for AMC and GameStop? I mean, in your heart of hearts, do you see this happening one day?
For me personally, I am putting my own hard-earned money, the same as you two, into this movement. I very much believe in what the Ape Nation has 100% become, because all of a sudden it started out on this forum on social media, but now it's grown to the point that we're sitting here right now talking about fixing the market and talking about potentially some of the illicit, nefarious nature going on with AMC and GME. So my bet with my own money is on the apes and true market reform.
Trey?
I believe not just in the MOASS itself, but what that stands for. I think if you were to just
tell us what it stands for.
It stands for market transparency, Charles. I mean, what are y'all talking about, right? It's about the problems that exist and that get pushed down our throats every single day. And what AMC is going to, I think, go beyond is just this stock. It's let's fight for other securities. Let's fight for more regulations to come out and sort of fix the problems that are laid out in front of us. You know.
And what I would say, in my opinion, is this: that I've been in the market a long time, and I regret the stocks that I've sold in my lifetime more than the names I've held that went to zero. I've had stocks that have gone to zero, but I regret the ones I let go that I believed in, maybe for its profit, maybe for a loss. So it doesn't happen overnight, and in this particular case, you've got nefarious forces that don't want it to happen, so it might be even harder. Ultimately, I think it's going to be up to management to perform, but they've got an amazing shareholder base.
What's up, guys? So the question is, should we have faith in the SEC and government to protect the retail investor? Who stands up for investors when something like the removal of the buy button happens? Who do we turn to for answers? And can somebody who can be held accountable? Who's the adult in the room?
You know, it's a fantastic question. We just had Lisa, who was a former, big-time insider at the SEC, suggesting that maybe they think they're doing the right thing, but certainly looking the other way has been a real problem. This fiasco in January was such an embarrassment. Again, Gary Gensler is saying the right things, but Trey, do you think he's going to follow through?
I like to look at action instead of lip service, right? So we saw the EU is starting to regulate payment for order flow as an example, trying to protect retail investors and their best interest being in mind. There's this talk that goes on and on and on, and there's just nothing that happens with the SEC. And particularly, you get people on the media who try and act like it's a good thing that payment for order flow exists. So what I want to see is not necessarily the talk, but the action that will follow that.
Right.
That's what I'm waiting for, because they can say a million things until it happens.
Well, I know a lot of folks are still really upset with Robinhood. I mean, if you look at the volume and the way it built up to that day, it was pretty clear that anyone there who worked there should have known they would need capital. And my theory was that they were going to go do an IPO real soon. They didn't want to dilute the float at all. They didn't want to change anything with the financials. So they rolled the dice, and they found themselves in a predicament. Any faith the SEC will do the right thing ultimately?
Maybe I'm being a little bit naive. I hope so. But what we know of the GameStop report on their, take of what happened in January, how is that even considered a best effort or even a reasonable effort? It was obviously highly neutered. They came in and they're like, you know what? We have a little bit of data here, not a short squeeze, not a gamma squeeze, don't worry about it. And it's like, to me, that's even more telling, because you're saying it was completely driven by retail. No one was covering, it wasn't gamma, and you took the buy button. So you're admitting it was going to go way higher. Yeah. They said it right there, and it's frustrating. I hope something's going on in the background, because you have market makers out there gloating that they were the only one to provide liquidity when things got nuts. How is that good? Right now, the Fed just came out and was saying that retail, we're the risk to the financial stability of the system. Retail, as in a video game selling company, brought the system to its knees. Yeah. Where's the resilience there? Yeah. It's all of a sudden, instead of improving the house of cards, they're saying, let's just leave it and blame someone else for blowing some wind on it.
I think you both are 100% right. They blew it, then they copped out, and then their friends in the media circled the wagons for them.